Stakeholders speak on immense benefits of radiology in health sector. Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, plagued over attack on NLC President Ajero. And on the foreign scenes, UN calls for more humanitarian aid to Gaza enclave. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total around maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values that's giving maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening and welcome to the evening news. My name is Uchechukwu Ebonam. The chairman, Post Primary Schools Service Commission, PPSSC, Oka Professor Nkechi Ikedugu, has inaugurated Club of Patrons to partner with the state government in management and funding of secondary schools in Anambra State. The inauguration took place at the Anglican Girls Secondary School, Ogidi, with many education officers, students, parents, teachers, and the patrons in attendance. Education correspondent Queen Anabogo completes the story.
During the inauguration of the club, the PPSSC chairman pointed out that the inauguration of the Club of Patrons is at the directive of Governor Chukwuma Soludo, aimed at getting people in the communities involved in the funding of schools, and each school is expected to get not less than 15 well-meaning individuals to be part of the club. She noted that with the inauguration of the Club of Patrons, all PTA levies have been abolished. Professor Ikedugu explained that the Club of Patrons are charged with providing a platform on which the patrons pool resources together to enrich school management, provide mechanism for more effective management at school level, provide infrastructure in schools, and make the school environment more student-friendly. She further added that the patrons will also provide security for the schools, free accommodation for teachers and principals, sponsoring of workshops and trainings for teachers, principals, giving of scholarships to best students, among others.
For you to be among the chosen ones shows that you have consistently motivated the students, either academically, socially, morally, or physically. I appreciate and recognize you from now on as our esteemed and illustrious partners.
Responding, some of the patrons, Mr. Israel Ugu and Mr. Great Obonna, appreciated the government for finding them worthy to carry out such responsibility and promised to give it their best shot.
By what I'm seeing right away, I discovered that there is a role, a responsibility placed upon the shoulder of the people to take care of the school and to make sure that things are going well in the school.
The inauguration proper formed high point of the day. Queen Anibogo reporting for ABS News.
The Anambra State government has flagged off the 2023-2024 joint orientation ceremony for JSS1, SS1 and transfer students of public mission secondary schools in the state. The ceremony held at Anglican Girls Secondary School, Ogidi, is a joint program of the Post Primary School Service Commission, PPSSC, and Anambra State Universal Basic Education Board, ASBEB, OKA, which had in attendance education officers from various zones, students, and parents. Education correspondent Queen Anibogo completes the story.
Declaring the program opened, the chairman, PPSSC, Professor Nkechi Ikedugu, said orientation ceremony is designed to enable fresh and transferred students in secondary schools get acquainted and adjust to the challenges of school life, change their ways of thinking towards schooling, and how to respond or adjust to what is obtained in various school environments. She explained that PPSSC and ASUBEB, as statutory bodies in charge of management and servicing of all state-owned schools, are out to create conducive atmosphere for students to excel and distinguish themselves academically, socially, and morally. Hence, the reason the orientation program was organized. The education boss appreciated Governor Chukwuma Soludo and the Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chumude, for continuous priority attention given to education in Anambra State.
We have supervision units. We go from school to school. We interview students to make sure that nobody is extorting money from them. The governor said free education. And once he says free, it is free. You can't be saying free and be collecting money from a child. And if the principal knows that if we catch you, you lose your job.
Also speaking, the chairman, ASUBEB, Dr. Vera Nwadinobi, said the theme of the ceremony, all-round education for sustainable livelihood, is timely and in tandem with Governor Soludo's Human Capital Development Manifesto, and as well thanked God and the organizers for making the event a huge success.
There's no way you will build human capital development without sound, free, accessible, and quality education. So we thank Mr. Governor for leading the way for us to do what? To follow.
In their separate remarks, the principal of the school, Mrs. Josephine Okika, and the chaplain, Reverend Christian Obiora, noted that a student can only enjoy sustainable livelihood when he or she is exposed to all-round education. That means academically, morally, physically, emotionally, and character-wise is balanced.
A student can only enjoy sustainable livelihood when he or she is exposed to all-round education. This will enable her or him to enjoy sustainable livelihood.
The resource persons, Mrs. Nneka Obionwu, presented a paper on formation of good reading culture among students. Mrs. Florence Edokwe presented a paper on adjustment to a new school environment, while the paper on all-round education for sustainable livelihood was handled by Mrs. Eukaria Ilika. Some of the education officers that attended were the Director, Accounts, PPSSC, Dr. Gloria Elechi, Public Relations Officer, PPSSC, Oka, Mrs. Ann Okafo, Public Relations Officer, PPSSC, Ogidi Zone, Mrs. Esther Afocha, Mrs. Ifoma Enekwechi, among many others. Administration of oath on the new students, welcome song and cultural dance featured during the event. Queen Anibogo reporting for ABS News.
Yesterday was the International Day of Radiology. It is an annual event marked across the globe on the 8th day of November every year to create awareness on the contributions of radiology and radiologists to save patients' care, such as early detection, fewer surgeries, and game-changing treatment outcomes. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo, who sampled opinion on the essence of the day, tells us more.
This year's event, which marked the 12th of its kind since inception in the year 2011, has its theme as celebrating patient safety, focusing on the vital responsibility of healthcare professionals in safeguarding the health and safety of patients. Speaking on the essence of the day, the head of radiology department of the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University Teaching Hospital, Amakuoka, Dr. Frank Kanu, said that the importance of radiology in the health sector cannot be overemphasized, as according to him, no section of the sector can survive in the absence of radiology, as he observed that the emergence of radiology in the health sector has made detection and treatment of ailments easier. Dr. Kanu explained that people do not need to be afraid of radiology, as there are preventive measures against harmful effects of radiation.
It's no longer used to be the case where people tend to run away from this. And apart from that, he's trying to explain to them that there are protective measures, to take care of any harmful effect from radiation.
Contributing, a consultant radiologist at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital, Nnewi, and a visiting doctor at the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University Teaching Hospital, Amakuoka, Dr. Samuel Udobi, disclosed that radiologists take care of diagnosis and treatment of patients with the aid of radiology equipment such as computerized tomography, TC scan, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, among others, and called on people to often seek for proper medical attention whenever they notice any abnormalities on their body for timely diagnosis, detection, and treatment to avoid complication and preventable death.
To them that they should seek proper medical attention. Seeking proper medical attention definitely will land most of them to radiology department.
For another medical expert and a consultant radiologist at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital, Nnewi, Dr. Michael Aronu Government in this part of the world need to learn to invest in the radiology department of the health sector for quality diagnosis and treatment of ailments, as he identified lack of necessary equipment in the department as one of the major challenges facing health sector in Nigeria. Dr. Aronu, who pointed out that Nigeria is blessed with competent physicians who can treat all sorts of medical issues when proper diagnoses are made, noted that provision of necessary machines in radiology department in government-owned hospitals by government at all levels and wealthy individuals in Nigeria will not only drastically reduce the issue of the wealthy traveling to other parts of the world for medical services, but also will help in revamping the economy of the country. In Awka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
And Health Organizational recently held Women's Summit and Youth Empowerment Program in Awka. The event was aimed at providing a platform for women and youths to foster acquisition of financial and leadership skills for self-reliance. Blessing Dennis has details.
The event held at Professor Dora Akunyere Women Development Center, Awka, attracted distinguished guests, including the Deputy Speaker, Anambra State House of Assembly, Honorable Chukwuma Okoye, represented by Honorable Ume Honora, and the Anambra State Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chiumude. Some of the tropical areas covered by the summit and youth program include career development, financial literacy, healthy lifestyle, and mentorship. Speaking at the event, the Deputy Speaker, Anambra State House of Assembly, Honorable Okoye, said women all over the world are pillars of society, emphasizing that they are not just epitome of beauty but also intelligent, hardworking, caring, and supportive.
The women is for them to keep up the good work, always back or embrace the good vices of society, not to put hands in something that will not give God glory, let them engage themselves in something, and God will bless the works of their hands.
Chairman on the occasion, Chief Ngozika Agudosi, said, "Gone are those days when women are seen as mere housewives or when they are suppressed, as a lot of women have made remarkable impacts in different areas."
Especially the girls amongst them. So si vedo che già può fugare, basta sempre 3,000, 5,000. Se va bene, molto che sia fatta, we make it up at 1,500. At 1,500, nobody can do it because that's simple free girls that we can make.
In her welcome speech, the founder of the organization, Lady Adeze Nwokoye, explained that WPHO is a non-governmental organization with primary obligations of empowering women to educate, train, and sponsor the less privileged women in the society.
Madam Commissioner, our governor,
Speaking shortly after the summit, the regent of UNRI, Prince Ikenna Onyenso, said that the event is not only an opportunity for personal growth, but also a chance to be part of a broader movement dedicated to building a stronger and a more inclusive society. Presentation of awards to eminent personalities and distribution of free health facilities featured at the event. In Awka, Blessing Dennis, ABS News.
As part of the move to support the efforts of Governor Chukwuma Soludo towards ensuring that an average Anambra child acquires a quality education, the Transition Committee Chairman of Anambra Local Government Area, Chief Gerald Ozo, has reconstructed the dilapidated two-story building housing the administrative office and examination hall at Ojiako Memorial Grammar School at Dasiani. Correspondent Kenechukwu Chukwudi brings more details.
Speaking while handing over the renovated structure to the school authority, the Transition Committee Chairman for Anambra Local Government Area, Chief Gerald Ozo, said that what prompted him to renovate the structure to standard is to ensure that teachers and students have a conducive environment to ensure quality teaching and learning. Chief Ozo, who disclosed that he had earlier distributed education materials to primary schools in Anambra Local Government Area, called on public-spirited individuals to join in the development of Anambra State.
It was the cry of the principal and the PTA chairman that attracted me to come to this place. but they will ban this group from participating in WAEC because they don't have conducive environment for external exams. And they came to, when they referred to me, and when I came here, I told them, find out that the solution is here. For the fact that I have stepped my feet here, that problem will be fixed.
The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Afam Obidike, who also attended the event, said that the Soludo administration is committed to partnering individuals and various communities to bring about even development in Anambra State, and announced that apart from investing in the education sector, Governor Soludo is renovating and equipping the primary health care in the 326 wards across the state for effective and quality healthcare services, and called on the people to continue with their support to his administration.
Ask us to continue to support the governor. On the easy. But we'll continue to do that in our public hospitals. The governor, government hospital.
The principal of the school, Mrs. Celestina Ikejiofo, in her address, thanked the Transition Committee Chairman, Chief Ozo, for coming to the school's aid, emphasizing that the building served multipurpose functions, including hosting students during external exams, which it would be put to good use. The chairman of All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, in Anocha local government area, Chief Anthony Ogoji, the President General of Adaziani, Mr. Ikechukwu Ezechukwu, and the Councillor for Adaziani Ward 1, Mr. Kasmia Oselu, described the legacies of the APGA government in Anambra State as laudable, saying that the chairman of the Transition Committee in the local government area, Chief Ozo, has through the project created a bright prospect for the students of the school.
I thank him so much because that is the only dividend you can be proud of in the local government done by the TC chairman. You know they are not elected, they are TCs. And for a TC to do such project is commendable.
The Zonal Director of Education, Post-Primary School Service Commission, Mrs. Ngozi Chukwujeku, and the Senior Prefect of the school, Master Onyedeka, thanked the Transition Committee Chairman, Chief Ozo, for ensuring the completion of the project as it will greatly benefit the students. Earlier, the member representing Anocha 2 at the State House of Assembly, Sir Ejike Okechukwu, while also commissioning renovated agricultural building and canteen for staff at the Anocha local government headquarters, thanked the Transition Committee Chairman for keying into the state government's agricultural policy, which will be a booster for the economy. It's been Kenechukwu Chukwudi for ABS News.
The Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress blocked both the entry and exit of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport today. The protesters attempted to enter the airport but were stopped at the checkpoint by the military. Angered by the refusal, the protesters blocked the airport's entry and exit points, causing heavy vehicle traffic on both sides. Travelers were forced to start making their way into the airport on foot. The NLC and TUC had declared a nationwide strike following the brutalization of the NLC President Joe Ajaero in Imo State last week. From the foreign scenes, both Hamas and Israel have committed war crimes since the conflict erupted last month. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights said the atrocities perpetrated by Palestinian armed groups on the 7th of October were heinous, brutal and shocking. There were war crimes, and as it continued holding of hostages, Commissioner Volker Turk said the collective punishment by Israel of Palestinian civilians amount also to a war crime, as well as the unlawful forcible evacuation of civilians. Turk delivered the remarks after visiting the Rafah border crossing, which he called a symbolic lifeline for the 23 million people in Gaza. The lifeline has been unjustly, outrageously thin, as He said he called for more humanitarian aid to be delivered to the enclave. Turk also urged both sides to agree to a ceasefire on the basis of 3 human rights imperatives: the delivery of aid to Gaza, the release of hostages by Hamas, as well as the implementation of a durable end to the occupation based on the rights of both Palestinians and Israelis to self-determination and their legitimate security interests. From the world of sports, the management of Zamfara United Football Club has assured that it has all it takes to go into Nigeria National League with full force, saying that formidable strategies have been put in place. Addressing newsmen during a training session, the general manager of the team, James Ishaku, said that he was confident that his team was adequately prepared to compete for promotion to the Nigeria Professional Football League. Ishaku further stated that the management of the Nigeria National League has approved Zaria Stadium as the home ground for the club due to the renovation of the Saudana Memorial Stadium in Gusau, the state capital. Based on this, the team has been preparing for the league season with various pre-season friendlies in Sokoto, Lagos and Zamfara State, he added. Pre-season Nigeria National League is the second highest overall in the Nigerian Football League system after the Nigeria Professional Football League. The Speaker of Anambra State House of Assembly, Right Honourable Somtochukwu Udeze, has described the demise of the late Pa Simeon Soludo, father of Anambra State Governor Chukwuma Soludo, as a painful and great loss to Ndi Suofia, Ndi Agawata and the state at large. In his condolence message to Governor Soludo and the entire Soludo family, as well as Ndi Suofia, Right Honourable Udeze revealed that testimonies from different people who knew the late Pa Soludo well defined him as a peacemaker, philanthropist, role model, disciplinarian, and above all, a devout Christian. The Speaker noted that the late Pa Soludo, who died at the ripe age of 92, was an outstanding community and opinion leader in his Suofia, whose gift of wisdom distinguished him among his contemporaries as he served as a veritable source of conflict resolution and peaceful living among his people. He maintained that the late Pa Soludo contributed immensely to the development of his town, Suofia, and beyond, and also influenced many people positively. Right Honourable Udeze said that the late Pa Soludo was a fulfilled and great man in all ramifications, adding that through hard work and by the grace of God, he was able to train his children to become important persons in society. The Speaker, who described the life and times of the late Pa Soludo as eventful, enjoined Governor Soludo and other members of the family to uphold the good deeds and sterling attributes of their father, while praying God to grant his soul, the soul of the late Pa Soludo, eternal rest. Before we go tonight, remember that you can follow news and programs on EBS TV from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on EBS Television, Oka. On X, we are EBS Radio TV. On Instagram, we are EBS Radio TV. You can log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Let's take a look at the trending headlines tonight. PPS